And Lorenzo
Norman. Yep, thank you. Lorenzo Norman for Stanford. Who I think that mask, I think it's really bothered him.
Yeah, hasn't looked quite the same way that he did earlier in the season since coming back. A lot of rust, and it seems like in all his matches that face mask has really been bugging him. He's been reaching at it with his hand, changing angles, and unusual to see him lose a few matches in a row. Coming to the tournament 18-2, and he's here in the 5th place match.
We still have 4 automatic qualifiers to dual bout in these 5th place matches. Those are the 2 matches yet to begin. 165 and 285 coming up shortly.
Good attack by Norman, gets his takedown here. He's looking to right himself.
Yeah, we're just talking, Jacob, about the fact that we really feel like the mask has affected the number 2 seed, Lorenzo Norman, here in Durham.
Yeah, it would seem to be that way based on his regular season results and kind of how seeding shaked out versus the results he's had here today. But, from a coaching perspective, you're wanting to tell him no excuses here, man. We need to find a way to work through this. You need to show the committee that you were willing to battle through it and kind of, play the cards that were dealt to you, and you found a way on the backside, and that if they give you this opportunity in this tournament, that you're going to make the most of it, because that's what they're looking for. Someone who can come in, shake up, create a little bit of a story.
He's got a 3-1 lead. Jacob Casper, Dylan Ryan, Dean Linke with you for our final match of what has been an incredible day.
It's been a great day for wrestling. And awesome to see guys with the emotion of seeing their ticket be punched to Philadelphia. Really the highs and lows of the sport that you get to see here as we work towards crowning 10 champions later tonight and an ACC team champion.
And an outstanding wrestler.
Yeah,
don't forget the outstanding wrestler, Doctor.
Yeah, who are you guys thinking?
We'll have to see what ends up happening in the finals. A lot of times these awards go to somebody who is a surprise, or is it the guy who is most dominant?
I feel like the one where Lewis won, it was the pit wrestler, Philippi?
Yeah, Mickey Philippi,
right?
Yep. Yeah, we saw Kairini win Most Outstanding Wrestler a couple of years ago with his pin of Philippi, where, he was the surprise champion there at 133 pounds. And worked his way towards an All-American trophy that year as well.
Jacob, do you remember who won it the year that you won the title?
I don't remember.
No? Should have been you.
No, I don't know about that. We had a lot of really good guys during that era. It might have been Hayden Hidley, and that would be a really, really good case to be had. He was tough as nails, both of those brothers, man. I really enjoyed watching them compete.
They're both here, too.
I love the way that they competed for each other. I remember Hayden giving a post-match interview, what you were kind of talking about at NCAA's the one time, and talking about how he came back and was wrestling for Trent. Like, man, that was moving and it was emotional. It was something you wanted to see Trent win an NCAA title for.
I remember that as well.
Yeah, some potential contenders. I mean, a guy, if Kairini pulls off another win, you could see him winning it from the 4 seed.
I like that call.
74, we had 2 upsets in the semifinals. Jimmy Mullen's been really impressive at heavyweight. If Nick Stemmett were to pull an upset at 197 pounds over Max Stout,
he's
given his win streak.
Yeah.
And I think we got a lot of great contenders. That's a good reason to tune in for the ACC finals tonight.
And yeah, you got to make a case for Caleb Henson too, right? The defending champ, the guy who's had a target on his back all year at one of the toughest weights in this conference, and he's still doing some pretty miraculous things right now.
6-1 lead for Norman over Contino.
Henson's won over 20 matches in a row dating back to last year at the tournament. Actually lost in the finals of the ACC's last year to Jackson Arrington, and a bit of controversy with the final score, and worked his way. A couple weeks later, he's the NCAA champion. Norman lets Contino go, looks to build on his lead.
Norman so long and lanky. Rhino, when you had to face somebody like that, I'm sure it was tough, no?
It is tough as a stockier guy to kind of stalk in and close that distance. At the same time, it's a lot of limb to grab. If you get in on somebody's legs, against this guy, it didn't really work out as much when he would pull me up into a body lock, but you try and figure it out, finding ways to close the gap through your ties, grabbing wrists, closing that distance.
I guess a similar question for you, Jacob. When at heavyweight you faced somebody that had 50 or 60 pounds on you, how did you adjust?
Yeah, movement. I believe, and I tell my guys all the time, whether it's fighting or wrestling, that rest produces rust. And if you let that object in motion come to rest, it's going to be really hard to get it moving again. So, even when I was in on a single, when it looked like there wasn't a lot of movement going, I'd be shimmying my shoulders, I'd be trying to shuffle, I'd be trying to circle, and I'm just constantly trying to keep motion going there.
So great to be with both of you.
It's great to be with you, Dean.
Shot there from Norman.
Producer extraordinaire Chad Lampman as well. Had a great day as we're finishing up on mat 2. Still wrestling hard here for 5th place. A lot of pride on the line.
Yeah, I'd like to see Contino kind of push the pace a little bit more. This is effectively going to be your last match this season, by no stretch of the imagination, really. So, man, leave it all out there.
Yeah.
Try to make a memory, try to go for something. And, if it doesn't work out, I gladly in the corner would be like, man, I get it. You sent it at least. But, yeah, I would love to see him just really kind of go for broke here.
I completely agree with you. Nothing to lose here. Might as well go out on your shield.
Another young man who has brought everything today, Zach Wilson on graphics. I think Nick Forbes is part of the crew. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. Chad Lampman, let me know if I did.
Nice switch by Norman.
Two points on the card reversal. Lorenzo Norman leading now 9-2 at 2. Also with a 9-2
Mad props to Brandon Neff and the entire crew from the Atlantic Coast Conference. I think the Commissioner Phillips, is planning to try to get here tonight.
It'd be fantastic. It's been a great day here in Cameron Indoor, and obviously have 10 great bouts this evening where we're going to crown some champions as Norman looks to try to ride this one out for 5th. He gets the pancake.
Oh, my.
And he stays in for the fall.
Wow. Amazing mat awareness there. And that's something you would expect out of a guy that was the number 2 seed at this weight that had the success he did in season. And that's something that the committee will look at. I honestly believe that. Say, hey, he didn't have the day that he wanted, but, he was able to find a fall on the backside and kind of get momentum going again going into this tournament.
Keeps the pressure here. As sucks him back as Contino provides back pressure. Norman uses those long limbs to keep himself in bounds, secure his fall for 5th.
It's only fitting that we have Jacob Casper, a.k.a. Julius Creed, here for this, as Connor Barquette
Connor Barquette earns his allocation with a medical forfeit.
Very, very cool to see. You know, you never hope to get a medical forfeit, so best wishes to Isaac Trumbull from NC State. But to see another heavyweight from Duke University punch their ticket, we've been a little bit of upper weight and heavyweight U. I'm very, very excited for Connor Barquette and excited to see what he does in Philadelphia. You just punched your ticket to a very, very elite and exclusive group here from Duke University. Make the most of it, young man.
I am beyond proud of you, Jacob Casper, a.k.a. Julius Creed. Thank you so much for joining us. I want to thank the Rhino, Dylan Ryan, who does amazing work. Dr. Dylan Ryan, Chad Lampman, our producer, and our entire crew. For each and every one of them and all of you, I'm Dean Linke saying so long and reminding you to tune in at 8 o'clock for the ACC Wrestling Championships on the ACC Network.